First things first, why I personally use a Bushmaster. I mean, I didn't just pull it out of the bucket or decide on it because it was the cheapest rifle. I've actually been probably deciding on my AR-15 for about 2 years because I wanted it to be perfect. I want it to be an A2. I want all the bells and whistles that you can get with an AR-15 at the cheapest possible price. And they offered it. I mean, you get a chrome moly Varget steel 4150 chrome line barrel. This isn't a Bushmaster, but I brought it out for an example. There's no wiggling between the upper and lower receiver. You get an M16 bolt carrier. Your bolt carrier is chrome line. You get a low shelf lower receiver. And it's an A2. And then I went with several people to the range when they'd buy a new rifle, helping them sight it in because, you know, A2 sights, they can be a little bit overwhelming if you're unfamiliar with them because there's dials and buttons, and then your front pin can move different, and your back sight can move. And I've realized they are very accurate rifles. I mean, they're on par with my Scar. So anyway, I finally pulled the trigger on one. Probably 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. I'm like, okay, it's time to bring it home because there's nothing at that price point that I get that many options. The only thing it doesn't have is a hammer forged barrel, but to get into like a hammer forged barrel, you gotta go like Sig Sauer or FN, and then you're looking at a $1,500 rifle. But as far as like a Colt or something, you get all the same features, same with the Wyndham weaponry. So I buy it. And I take my sighting in target, like this one from Wyndham Weaponry. Very explanatory, very easy to use. It's usually how I help customers set up too, is one of these targets. Set it up at 25 meters. Then once you're on at that, you'll be pretty close at 300 meters. You know, sometimes you might just have to do a couple of finite adjustments. I'm chasing my point of impact all over the place, and I cannot figure out what's going on. So whatever, I got my 55 grain bullets. And if you're going to make Primo Ammo, you got to keep everything the same. Like in this box, these won't weigh 55 grains. There'll be a couple that will, but for the most part, they'll vary by about 1.9 grains. So like you'll have some like 53.9 all the way up to like 57.1. What you do is you take like 200 to 500 bullets, you weigh them all and you separate them by weight. And then once you have 30 rounds of a certain weight, you load up 30 bullets, and that's a lot. You load an entire magazine with it, and then so when you're switching mags, you might have a slight point of impact shift, but your grouping will still stay really tight. So say for whatever reason, you know, you're shooting, you're like, oh, you know, small impact shift, you just adjust. So I got 30 bullets. They actually just so happen to weigh 54.9 grains. I loaded them up, used the exact same charge, zero variance, exactly 26 grains. Not 25.9, not 26.1, exactly 26 grains. I used all the same brass, same primers. I go out to the range and I print this. And this was very slow, accurate shooting. It was a 30-round string. There's no reason at all that I should have had a group size that big. I was ready to take it by like the barrel and just smash it on the ground and never touch a Bushmaster again. Well, me and my girl, we were actually out this weekend and we only had the trunk gun stuff. So limited ammo and just 2 ARs, and we decided to go shooting. So we had actually swung by Fleet Farm and also picked up some 62 grain bullets, which, not thinking about it, every person I've taken out to the range has used 62 grain bullets, because usually when they're first getting into an AR, they're like, well, what do I want for ammo? I'm like, well, you got your bimetal ammos, avoid those. They're just going to burn your barrel out. And if you're buying an expensive chrome line barrel, you don't want to burn it out. Say you're using one of those cheapo nitrated barrels or melanited barrels, who cares? Use bimetal ammo, and the cost you'll save in ammunition will buy you a new barrel by the time it burns out. So I always push them to the green tip because it looks cool. 62 grain green tip. I mean, it's got a steel core, so you're not really damaging the environment by putting lead everywhere. Great ammo to use. So I had bought some of that at Fleet Farm. I had shot that first group, you know, this one right here. I'm like, man, I'm about to send this firearm in. They messed up on the chrome liner or something. This barrel is garbage. So we shot through all the 55s I had loaded, because when I do that, you know, I make my special, super accurate Primo ammunition, and then all the rejects I give to my girl. And she's like, boom, bullseye, boom, bullseye. I'm like, can you be quiet? I'm trying to shoot a group here. She way outshoots me. We go down, pull our targets, and she's like, yeah, look at this. And it's like, holy crap, I've never outshot you before. So whatever, load up the 62 grains, and then I shoot this target. This is a 20 round string. And you gotta understand, when I shot this string, I was expecting to get the same string as this target. So I wasn't really taking my time, you know, my eyes were all covered up in tears because I was basically crying because I had a junk rifle. And then the last 5 shots, I rattled off really quick because I wasn't expecting to get a good string, so why take my time with it? Get down range, and yeah. You need to shoot 62 grain bullets out of your Bushmasters. Your M4s, M4A2s, M4A3s, anything with your quality barrel in it. Now, they do make Bushmaster optics ready. It's still a good steel. It's 4150 steel, but it's just a melanite coating on it. It's not chrome lined, so I'd actually avoid that rifle. You know, buy something quality. Now, I'm aware at some point we are going to have the anti-gun people be like, oh, blah, 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 that's assault-style ammo. So if anybody knows what, like, Hornady bullet or whatever specs out the exact same as your 62 grain penetrators, please let me know in the comments below. Or if you own a Bushmaster and you found something else that runs really good out of it other than 62 grain bullets, also leave that in the comment below, because people are going to watch this video and they're going to go to the comments trying to figure out what else they can run. But again, they do not like 55 grain bullets. They like your 62s. There's your 2 difference in your targets. Remember, the 62 grain target, I had shot second, and I wasn't being very patient about it because I thought it was going to suck. But thanks for watching. Again, leave in the comments below if you own a Bushmaster, what other bullets have run good out of it, and if you know what bullet specs out exactly the same as your XM 855s. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.